right. Okay. So I think we should be streaming to LinkedIn now. But so yeah, I am not Ethan, by the way, I'm Zach. So Ethan is traveling today, so I'll be um filling in for him. So yeah, I'm Zach, co-founder and CEO of Mindsmith. Excited to have you all on and to answer some of your questions. So um I think we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm going to highlight a few of the new things we have been working on, and then we'll turn it over to questions. So, yeah, let me share my screen here. We'll share the whole screen. So, there's two things I want to highlight today. So, the first is our new tile look. So, we are still iterating on this. So, if you do end up using it, be aware that there may be some tweaks as we go forward. But we are redesigning all of our elements, and there's a switch to be able to get the new version. And this is not as good of example. So the new version will have white. So it'll be white with shadow on the off-white as our typical design. And you can see I'll flip the switch for you. Um, Here you can see it's quite an upgrade from an aesthetic perspective, and you get a lot of new options. So I chose white, which would be the default for tabs, and you'll be able to choose which is the default. So um, but I can also go this cool blue, or if I wanted it to be purple, there you go. And this also will work with your custom theme colors. So every element is getting a bit of a redesign. I think um, notes, I'm not sure we've done it quite yet. So it's still a little bit of work in progress. Oh, the other one that's exciting about this is, so I'll show you here. We have a row of content. If I click edit row, I can make that whole row a specific color, and it goes all the way to the edge. And so that can be a pretty nice upgrade aesthetically to some of your lessons. Um, so yeah, that is the first thing I want to share. The other one, another beta that will be um, kind of, you'll have to reach out to us if you want to be added to it. Um, or if you leave your email in the chat, we can also do that. But if I go question, I'm going to add a question here. Um, so this is the new question style also is more like this, which is nice. So, okay, this question, I'm gonna say what, oh, what is your role? Um, Operations, and then I'm gonna say logistics. Maybe those are the same, but and I'm gonna switch this to a form so it doesn't feel like people are being tested there because it's just a question. And then I'm going to show you our branching feature. So it's also experimental here, but we're working really hard to get it stable so you can use it in your lessons. But I'll switch to branching, and you can split here, and then I can add some logic, and I'll add this in here. So the question is, what is your role? So if it's operations, we're going to have them have this piece of content. But if it's logistics, kind of that default path, I'm going to reroute this. So logistics gets this page, and they all end up getting the 3 pages there. And it also works for graded assessments too. So if you had a quiz that was really important, they got it wrong, we're going to get them some extra support after they got it wrong. You can do that with this logic. Um, piece here. So I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna start answering some questions. Let me pull up the Q&A. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and you can ask them. Oh, there you go. Hey, Larry, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Hi, good. Hey, I got a couple of PDF questions I've been asked to ask. So
Mhm.
first, we're looking at trying to make our training a little bit more ADA compliant. And so we use a lot of PDFs of images that are very complex. And of course, most readers can't read that. It's my understanding that there is a PDF, adaptable PDF that can be read, but I've had a couple of coworkers try to load those and they won't load. So is that something you're all looking at, or is there a workaround?
Mhm. Yeah, so you're trying to load so these people are trying to use the PDF version of the lesson as a sort of accessibility option.
Correct, because sometimes they're very complex and
Yep. Yeah, so our goal is to make sure that the learning experience is accessible as much as possible. We have not spent a lot of time making PDFs per se accessible. We're more focused on, or most of the use cases we see around PDFs certainly are like that reference type option. We also see it in like auditability and review, but we haven't been really focused on it from an accessibility lens right now. Um, so
okay, great. Yeah, that's what we needed to know. Another PDF question. One of my coworkers noticed recently that in a lesson that she is designing now comes up a create a multiple choice assessment using my PDF. Now, I've done those before using a PDF, but this seems to kind of automate that. Is that something that the system is saying, "Oh, we recognize that you," or is that she don't know how it got there? So that we were trying to figure that out. Was it something that
interesting. Yeah, I don't think we have a ton of proactive, but I know if she would have given, so there's, oh, actually, I know probably what may have happened. So I'll share my screen. I'll show what I think happened. So um, I share my full screen. I'm in a lesson. If she would have just dragged the PDF into here, the chat guy, he
Mhm.
the AI probably would have recommended good uses of that PDF. Um, uh, so if you're just trying to give PDFs to the learners, there's a few options. So you've got your embed tile or
Right?
the buttons tile, right? I think
Yeah,
that if that isn't what happened, you can send us a screenshot. We can see what.
yeah, maybe that's what I'll do because this is a little different. This is on the table of contents when you're developing a lesson
Mhm.
or a course, and it just kind of shows up in there and is asking. I mean, it's not changing anything. It's almost like it gives you an option to create a, multiple choice assessment using a PDF, which I know you could do in the past, but this is kind of seems like a little simpler way of doing it. So we just had
Yep.
some curiosity. I'll go ahead and I'll send out the a screenshot.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
I'll stop sharing. And all right, so let's put let's okay, so I saw Daniel was the next person who raised their hand. Hey Daniel, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh, Danielle, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Not it. That's yeah. My parents had made a bad decision um, with my name. Um, so I had a couple questions. One was, is there currently an interactive exercise that would be like a drag and drop?
Mhm. Yeah.
There is.
So
What's it labeled?
yeah, so it depends on what your drag and drop can mean a lot of things, but there are a few. So we have sorting
Okay.
here where you're kind of, okay, I'm going to take this card, I'm going to categorize it. We have a new sorting actually coming in this new elements, which is exciting. Then we have, oh, I guess go to tile. Then we have matching, which is a kind
Oh,
of you're gonna connect the two.
yeah.
That's the
Okay.
main drag and drops.
Okay. Yeah,
We
I'm
have right
familiar
now.
with those. I was looking for something that was more if, say, for instance, I had like a form or a timeline or an image, and I wanted the learner to put the correct item in the correct location on, say, the form or whatever the image is
Mhm.
that I had up. I didn't know if we
Yep,
had something
yep.
like that available yet.
Yeah, so I think the closest thing we'd have would be so our experience editor, the explore node lets you click on a portion of pieces. So that could give you a little bit of that interaction, but it doesn't have drag and drop support right now.
Okay. All right. Um, so I'll put a no on that. And then the other question I had was the scroll bar for the text nodes. Is that coming soon or is it still just in the works?
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. So I do have plan. I'm gonna put some of my team on to cleaning up experiences and scroll bar on these text nodes.
Awesome.
Is one of those. I think we'll probably try to do a hybrid or one or the other. Sometimes you'll have that like little circle arrow that like
Yeah,
implies you can scroll. I think that's probably the direction we'll go, but yeah, we certainly want to solve that problem. So,
cool. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
okay. Of course. Yeah, thanks for coming. All right. Okay. Uh, I'm gonna put that, and then I'll let Greg go. How's it going, Greg?
Hey, how's it going?
Going great.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you pretty well.
Great. So I work for a company called Beckoff Automation, and we are a technology company. We make industrial automation, very complicated technologies, and we're looking for a learning platform to create training content for customers, how products work, how the software works, how to click around inside Visual Studio. We've been using Storyline, um, and we're considering, Mindsmith as a more scalable solution in terms of the vast
Mhm.
amounts of technical quantity we have to make. One of the things we're concerned with, though, is if Mindsmith is able to do more interactive ways of getting people involved in actually learning click through workflows. So I just wanted to ask you kind of what are some of the best ways to use this tool to teach people, software workflows when there's many, many clicks um, and a lot going on. So that's one of my questions. And
Mhm.
then, later I'll ask you some questions about localizations and scalability and all kinds of other stuff. But let's start with that.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to um I'll show you the normal Mindsmith version and then I will give you a sort of sneak peek of what we have that we think is going to be quite a game changer from like a software workflow. So normally there'd be two options we'd recommend for sort of software-based training. So if I go hot button, right? So you can annotate a graphic that can kind of
Josh,
show people.
are you sharing your
Oh,
screen?
I'm not. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah. So we've got hot button. So that's annotate graphics. You can annotate parts of your software. Then we have sort of on the same vein of a hot button, but a little bit more sophisticated is our explore node. So explore lets you um, kind of annotate different parts of a software here, and it can, you can go, okay, if you click here, we're going to take you to a video. If you go here, we're going to take you to some text, and we're going to, and you can get rid of this guy. So that would be kind of awkward. Um, so that is the current Mindsmith version. Then there's two things that we have coming really soon that should help with that. So we are releasing full storyline parity within the next few weeks. And essentially, we're um, sort of doing it in a clever way where our code node is going to be capable of representing all of storyline. So it will have the timeline, the click here. I think it may even have drag and drop. So in developing that code node, I think we might help out with that drag and drop piece. Then the last one that I'll share here is I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna pull up a demo we have of our conversations feature doing a walkthrough. Um, it may take me a second. So if you have any other questions or responses, feel free
One
to
other question while
share
you're
that.
pulling that up. So one of the things that we currently like about Storyline and also super hate about Storyline is if we want like a narration on screen and then have things pop up on the screen timed to that narration. You can have bullet points, PowerPoint style. So it's starting with a PowerPoint, here's some bullet points, and we can have a narration that provides additional wording, additional details without the slide needing every single one of those words as a human readable thing, right? So it's nice to just listen to as a couple text pops up on screen. The thing we don't like about that is that it takes forever to make that. Storyline is very, very slow when it comes to clicking the play button and viewing back the animations you've created. If I have a screenshot of our software, I'm just popping up red boxes and I'm fading them in time to the screenshot. It's just a super, super frustrating process. Takes forever. I'm working at like 0.25% capacity in terms of working through that. So I wanted to ask you, what does Mindsmith have in terms of a narration, like perhaps an AI voice narration? I don't know if you guys use 11 Labs or anything on the back end, but what do you have in terms of AI voice narration? What do you have in terms of time syncing elements to that narration? What opportunities exist in all of that? And with your whole storyline timeline thing, how fast is it to work with?
Yeah. So we have this thing called interactive narration. It's another beta, so we can add you to it if you're wanting to try it out. So it's less timing of like shapes coming on the screen. So it's more trying to make a normal Mindsmith lesson more interactive. And it will, main thing it gives you essentially for free, you just click a button. Um, when you open your accordions, it will read the contents in there. If you flip a flashcard, it will read those. So that's number one. We call that interactive narration. This storyline, um, I guess the closest example I have, actually this, I need to double check. this lesson that I'm okay to share it. But I can show so this lesson here, if I go,
Turn call is
let me edit this here. So essentially AI is very good at timing audio to animation. So this video system we have is sort of our first foray into those types of things. So I'll show you. I'm going to stop sharing and share with audio. So you're able to hear it.
I think
But
you might have had audio that first time.
okay, cool. So
a return call isn't a loss. It's a chance to keep a customer. A smooth return brings them right back. Someone who fights for 20 minutes on the phone usually doesn't. Here's the shape of every return call. Greet and verify. Listen to the reason, collect the details, apply the return rule,
essentially
then
you can
process
see
and
this
close.
was a single prompt. So I didn't do anything necessary to get this. So our code node is essentially a version of this that's more focused, less on video and more on interactives. And it's able to tie narration to things as well. So
Very interesting.
yeah, the idea would be you just prompt it outright.
Would we be able to upload something like a screenshot of the software and have it do the like if we provide most of the script that we want it to say, would it be able to do things like add red boxes to the screen at certain points in time, or let us do that and have those be adjustable?
Yeah, certainly. Yep. Yeah.
Cool. I have
This
more
other
questions,
one,
but if anybody else wants to jump in and ask.
okay, yeah, I'll show one thing we're really excited about from this is like the first time we're sharing it with the broader public, but one thing from a software simulation perspective is that um, our conversations tool, we sort of found like an emergent property of conversations is that they're able to teach you how to do things really well. So I'm going to show you this here, and this could be really helpful for your customers. So I'm going to share the screen here, and then um, and then
Welcome to the returns desk. Before we start clicking, please tell me the 2 return windows in your own words and when an override is required. Also, why do we explain the policy behind the outcome?
yeah, so return window is 0 to 30 days. They can return it at any time or in any condition. 31 to 45, they can return it sealed for store credit. Can you tell me a little bit more about the process of processing a return?
That's right. Those are the policies we'll be applying today. We'll get to the processing steps in just a moment. First, please explain why we tell the customer the why behind the outcome, like why they're getting store credit. Then search for Sophia Kim's order, OR 10491, and open it.
Well, yeah, so if we share the why, they're going to be more, um, receptive. Okay, so I've got Sophia Kim pulled up. What do I do now?
Exactly. Explaining the why helps manage expectations. Now that you have her order open, please navigate to the Return tab to see her eligibility.
So that was a little bit more, I'll just end that. That was a little more like training focused, but for a customer, it would be probably a little bit more like to the point. But that could be a really interesting way for your to train your customers as well.
Now, does this only work for like web apps? I mean, our software is basically Visual Studio. I don't know is this something that could plug in to Visual Studio, or does this only work on like a JavaScript-based web page?
It watches the user's screen, so it works on any software.
That is very, very interesting, Ethan.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, we realized we were able to do that, and we've been pushing pretty hard from a dev perspective to get that really nice and polished for you all. So excited about that. But sweet. Yeah, so thanks, Greg. You mentioned you had a few more questions. I think we'll go to Gwen, and then we can come back if you're still here.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. Hey Gwen, how's it going?
Hey Zach, doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Good to, I
Awesome.
think we've certainly met before. So,
Yeah, no, I think I've met you once or twice. I've definitely seen Ethan at the Training Apex or Training
mhm,
MVP or whatever they want to call the award ceremony nowadays. But I do have
mhm.
a couple of questions. We recently upgraded to Enterprise.
Very
And so
nice.
we're super stoked for that, and we're super excited to continue working with y'all. But we do have a couple of things that you brought up the change for the tiles, the color change. Is that something that we should ask for, or is that live? And also, is that only certain types of tiles or all the tiles?
Oh, were you the one that emailed me about the colors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, so certainly I can get you added to that beta,
Awesome.
but if I remember the email you had, I can show you how to solve that problem like without the beta even.
Awesome.
So I'll just show you kind of how our theming system works. Here, let me get it. I'll share my screen. So I'm so sorry for the delay. We've
No, no,
been
not at all. You guys are busy.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I'm gonna make sure we're on the old school version, and I'm gonna add a question. So, and then I'm gonna go into the theme. I'll start us off with, oh, healthy blue. So you can see this one is not, you're kind of having that contrast problem, right? Um, the way Mindsmith works right now, and you'll still be able to have it work this way. So it's still good to know. So the way it works right now is that it's using a shade of this accent color to make these boxes here. And
Got
so
it.
because of that, um, if you have your accent color be really close to the page color, it's gonna struggle. So our recommendation, if you are gonna do a dark page background, you want to go, okay, like let's make our question or accent white.
Mhm.
And so now you have the contrast there. And then this other one that can help with accessibility as well, if I go auto color text. And the other one is if I am going to do a page color background of a color, generally recommend we go a little bit darker on the color so that now it's easier to see the text. So
Awesome. 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 That's great. Thank you so much. In the same vein as colors, since we're talking about it, I noticed that the AI generated video, and you actually just had one, defaulted to the kind of a navy and gold color palette. Is that just kind of like the standard theme for generated videos, or can we direct the AI to use, our brand or, tell it certain hex codes or anything like that?
yeah, you can tell it whatever you want and it's fully
Awesome.
capable. So we came out with the editable video. We're really
Yes.
excited about that. Um,
Mhm.
it we had some trouble where when we gave it the theme and told it it had to follow the theme, now you have like, a beige background for all your videos. We felt like it constrained it a little bit. So right now, if you ask the agent to make your editable video based on your theme, it is able to pull that theme in and incorporate it. But it,
Awesome.
it doesn't feel like it has to. But that's relatively recent, last week or two.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that tile Tuesday and I was super stoked to see that. I was curious if that was going to be the case or not, because that's kind of the benefit of working with an AI agent is you can kind of tell it to adjust and, recorrect and all that good stuff. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Um,
Well, yeah.
okay.
Anything
Um,
else?
I have one more. I won't take too much of y'all's time. So for us, we have these knowledge checks where we have a course instruction that states that incorrect responses will automatically require the learner to re-engage with the content before trying again. But there's a reset button there that kind of circumvents that, even in learner mode, essentially. And it makes it to where people cannot complete their training fully. So if we have the complete or incomplete setting set up, it means that people think that they completed the training because they answered it correctly, but they technically didn't because they reset the question.
Interesting. Yeah, so I'll show you what we what we try to make it work like. So if I go settings and I turn on this grading to, yeah, it's one retry. If I go into preview, oh, I guess role you wouldn't. Yeah, let me change the way this. I'm gonna make this as an assessment. If I go here, let me get to this. If I go logistics, I think was wrong. Okay, logistics is wrong. So this reset button is meant to only show up in preview mode, not for learners.
Got it.
But if you're seeing this for learners, if you could reach out to support, that would be, or me, right? But yeah, just this reset button can be kind of confusing. We're probably going to get rid of it and give you some more of those options up at the top here. But yeah, the reset button isn't shown to learners, or at least it shouldn't be.
Got it. Okay, perfect, perfect. So it must just be because we were in our kind of, commenting, editing phase and everything, that's why it is still there. Okay, I will double check once we upload it to our actual LMS and everything then. Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Gwen. All right. Okay, Larry, you're back.
Okay, sorry, got another question. Just got one in from another teammate. So they're trying to render a video and it fails. And when they go to click on the contact support button, it's not working. So can I send the URL to someone so they can take a look at it? And I looked at it. I was trying to figure out why it wouldn't render.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. I don't know how I get, if you send me an email, Zach, ZACK at mindsmith.ai, I should be able to route that to my, but if you could also send us an email on why why the support's not working as well, that would be very helpful, because obviously we want that to make sure.
Yeah, it's just when you click on the button, when it says that it can't render it, underneath there's a button, green button that says, contact support. If you click on it, nothing happens.
Oh, weird. Okay. Well, we'll look into that.
Okay.
And yeah, certainly send me the link and we'll get that. Sometimes you'll even see, like, if a rendering fails, you can come in the next day, and sometimes our team is like, notice that and already fix it. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. It also took a very long time before it failed. I tried it once and it was like 20 minutes, and then it failed. So I'll let you all take a look at it. You're the experts. And I'm sorry, I have one more question having to do with the new theme beta. Normally what we do on our team, we don't ask for the beta for individuals. We ask it for the whole team. Who do I send that request for? Like with the video, we sent it. I can't remember who we sent it to, and they were able to give us access as a team.
Yeah, you can send that to me as well. Just in that same email, also mention the beta you want. And yeah, Zach at Mindsmith.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Awesome. Yep. Thanks, Larry. All right. So it looks like we did answer Gwen's questions from the Q&A. Let's answer Winnie's here. And then yeah, Winnie, if you have any extra contacts that want to share, we can get you on the stage as well if you want, but just raise your hand if that's the case. So does the branching option we demonstrated still allow 100% completion if the lesson if the learner only follows one option or pathway? And the answer there is yes. So we're still working through the kinks, but it's meant for if you could even have multiple different ending points. So if operations needs to go through, 10 extra pages than engineering, it's meant to work there. But yeah. So yeah, same thing there. If you want that beta, you can email me at zach@mindsmith.ai. So, all right. And then let's get Greg back on. How's it going, Greg?
It is good. Yeah, just a couple more questions for you. One of our company policies is that we are not allowed to use AI to modify our brand images. So let's say we upload a training PowerPoint. I'm imagining what we're going to do is take an existing training PowerPoint of how this stuff works, upload it, try to create a course out of it. How does Mindsmith handle the images in our PowerPoint? Will it modify them, or does it just pull them out and use them directly?
Yeah, so it can modify them, but it doesn't by default. I think you'd have to ask it for it to want to do that. So it's able to look through the images in that document, and it's got like a little tool to like pull that image from the document into a certain spot of the lesson.
Okay, fantastic. So I can use the images directly without changing. Okay.
Yep. Sweet. Anything
Okay.
else?
Next question. Yeah. So you had mentioned this voice narration thing, but that just sounded like the AI voice would just read what the person clicks on. We wouldn't quite be looking for just reading. I think you called it like interactive narration, reading what gets clicked on. I'd be more interested in, like, let's say I have a GIF of a screen recording, and I want that GIF to play and have some additional text added to that GIF or something. I'm just trying to think of all the different ways we can walk people through our software. Do you have anything like that where audio can play over top that is different audio from the image on screen?
Yeah. So this may, I can double check. This may already work. Certainly some of our new stuff would be able to do this, but if I go experience, so rather than a GIF, we actually can do video. So that might be a good option. So probably the like closest to that experience that we would have, so we'd go there, and then I think, yeah, we want the explore. So you'd have them start at a video, right? And then you would take them to an explore. And if I'm correct, I think narration is possible. Oh, narration I think is possible for experiences. But it seems like you might struggle overriding a specific node right now. So we'll look at making that better. But I guess I will say that code experience that I was describing certainly could do that, right? Because all it would have to do is have the image there for a couple seconds in its little code sequence, and then maybe some on-screen text as an overlay, and then it would trigger some narration of your choice. So seems like we're close there.
Okay, is that code thing available now, or is that like a beta, or how would I get access to actually trying that out?
It'll be available kind of closed beta beginning of or end of the week. So yeah, if you want to email me, Zach at mindsmith.ai, I can forward you to my code team and they can coordinate with you when that beta will be available for you.
Amazing. We will absolutely send you an email basically right away.
Hey, sounds great. Thanks, Greg.
Cool. Thank you so much.
All right. Seems like we've got everyone. I'll put you back in the list there. Open Q&A again. I think oh I think I was just talking to Greg. Hey Winnie, are you you're on the stage now. How's it going?
Well, good, thank you. So my question is, thanks for answering the other one. So I'm going to feed that back to my colleagues because I think they were having an issue with it, but I'll say that something is on its way. So I'll pick that up separately. However, I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking about other possibilities that I can do with my learning. I'm loving that interaction piece with the hotspot on the images, which I can 100% use for some of my content. But I guess for me, it's something similar to what one of the people said on this call about the drag and drop function. So if, for example, I work in retail, if I wanted to support my learners with um, items in a shop and getting customers to buy stuff, what would be great is if the partners could drag, I don't know, a packet of crisps or chips and drop it into a basket or something like that to make it a bit more interactive. Do we have any options like that?
Yeah, let me pull up. So this isn't gonna be drag and drop, but it could. Let me pull up this little demo I put together here. That similar use case. Oh, this is not what you want to see. Okay, so this I'll show you the whole prompt that I wrote for the agent to make this for me. This is another beta that we're working on. Lots of things are in flight in Mindsmith. It's exciting. But yeah, so this is our code tile, kind of upgraded version of it. So um, I'm a returns desk. I've got some incoming packages. I need to know where to take them. So I've got a ceramic mug set. It was purchased 12 days ago. I'm going to open it. Looks like it's factory sealed. So I'm going to restock it. Um, so then the next one, okay, some wireless earbuds, but it looks like it's defective. But it's in the window, so we're going to discard it. And then I think this one's kind of interesting as well. So it's past window, and the customer just changed their mind. They didn't want it. So because of that policy, we're going to, I think, refurbish that one. Oh, yeah, wait, I guess we're rejecting the return. We're going to send it back or something. So there you go. So kind of like this code piece, I think I could have had it like drag and drop, or we're going to do some work on our end to make sure it could do a drag and drop experience, but you can still have that like engaging experience with this new code node. So um, awesome. Is there any other questions I can help answer?
No. If we wanted to be added, email yourself or email Tanel.
Tanel can help out, but you can also email me. Yeah, I'll just forward everything on to the respective engineer on that part of the product.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. Okay, so let me double check our Q&A again. I think we don't have anything there. So I'm not seeing any more hands, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. But just want to end with how grateful I am to have you all as kind of enjoyers, customers of Mindsmith. Um, Super glad to have you, and also, yeah, that email, Zach at Mindsmith. Always happy to hear your feedback or help you out with anything. So